Hello everyone, I'm Angel Wu. Welcome to Taiwan is my home. Opening a hostel and introduce the scenery to the guests. Recent years, this is many people's dream. But our first heroine today never imagined that she will do something like this. Grew up in the dazzling city of Shanghai, under fate she became a daughter-in-law of Yanqiao Kaohsiung. Her husband didn't require much of her, but the cultural and village differences gave big impact to her. Fortunately, this village is beautiful enough, and so are the people's hearts. She is full of enthusiasm for learning. Now, she is a hostel mistress who is able to cook dishes of a whole table. Also clear about Yanqiao's specialties, she is the organizer and designer of the events. She arranges lively activities for the community. A silent country lane, a simple-looking but full of ingenuity hostel. Actually, the word hostel does not fit so well, because the owners take reservation. Not everyone is welcomed. When we arrived, we were even cheated by the sign. The sign says medicine factory. It has nothing to do with hostel. Who hit you? It's the dog. The woman owner called Minghui Wu from Shanghai is different from her husband, very lively, especially when talking about the place Kaohsiung Yanqiao. She knows lots of special sceneries and specialties. Taiwan guava is from Yanqiao, but in this place we live is blessed. We are very near to the water bank. It takes about 3 minutes by car. If there is one mud volcano, this is definitely going to be a National Geographical Park in the future. Now she looks like she is already blended in this south countryside, but actually when she first came to Yanqiao, seeing everywhere farm, she had even doubted if it really is Taiwan. Many friends ask me, is Taiwan like heaven? I say no, it's like hell. What I mean by hell is the difference of city and countryside. In Shanghai, our family have lived in the city center, 3 minutes to Nanjing Road, 5 minutes to the Bund. It is a comfortable and free place. Coming to here, I really think it's a deserted place, but I love this place over the years. Straight going is her characteristic. When she was 31 years old, she came to Bolivia by herself and met her Taiwanese husband. They decided to stay together for the rest of their life. At first, she did not plan to come back to Taiwan, but because her husband is the only son, she decided to follow him back. Her husband's home business was big. Cleaning and cooking were all done by workers. She does not even need to move her hands. But days pass and she feels boring day by day. When I first came, the family employed many people to make medicines, cooks, etc. I stayed with my husband. I can't drive, just drop and picking up the kids. Then I raised the kids with mom. These years, I feel I improved. A big challenge for me. I never made food, but I started this reserved private restaurant. I never gardened before. No interest in gardening, and I can't either, but now I'm quite proud of the gardening that I'm handling. The garden designs here now is made all from her hands, from bicycle landscaping to the design of every scratch of grass and trees. This is like her own children, made up from zero like her new life in Taiwan. From unable to adapt, now she becomes someone everybody knows in the village. Even more familiar with the locals, she now even started to teach calligraphic. It's hard to imagine that a person who grown up in simplified Chinese environment could come to Taiwan and teach Taiwanese traditional Chinese calligraphic. I can't write traditional Chinese at the time. I wrote 2,000 words essay in difficulty. I read a book for a month. Now my husband will even ask me how to write it. I even point out my girl's traditional Chinese mistakes. In fact, her neat thoughts not only is this landscape and appearance, If we have a look in the corridor, we will see a lot of her Shanghai memories along the corridor in her house. All of them are full of her homesickness of Shanghai, especially her mother. Wu ever brought her daughter to find her route. She placed her daughter's photo with her mother's. This is the meaning of heritage. These photos are interesting. One's my daughter and my mom. My mom is already 90 years old then. This is our home. I will show you. This is a building of our families. My old mother is 97 years old now. This is when she is 90 years old. Touching these old pictures, recalling the memory in Shanghai, on the walls there are the photos of Shanghai. Not only she could cherish the time in Shanghai, she could also tell stories when customers visit. Speaking of her own homeland is also a repose. The original Nanjing Road is already prosperous enough, but now it's even more, flourishing with ablaze lights. Life is art. This is her motto. She starts everything from perspective of art. Even when managing a hostel, this day she brought out a dish that she's good at to serve her friends and customers who come to visit. Actually, from Shanghai to Bolivia and back to Taiwan, she never cooked until her near 50s. She started because she wants to have her customers feel like home. I have a very profound discovery. Baoshen Wu and Jason Wu, they both are artists of life. I'm also Wu. How come we're so different? I think I give a definition to myself. Actually, cooking is creation. When you see the taster's satisfied smiles and expression, that's the best approval to your creation. I can't cook a dish before. You can ask my husband. So I'm very looking forward to my family's arrival that would come in the end of the year. They would be astonished to see me cook this much. I must challenge them. They kept saying that I talk better than done. Starting from the view of family, her cooking isn't for making money, but for that full portion of love. She wished she could give her customers a different kind of touch. So once there's this teacher of leader association, they came to tables of people and the group teacher said something touches him when he ate. I asked why. He said it seems there's no flavoring flavors. Customers can see her efforts. This is why she never advertised, but there are still many customers come all the way for her. Smiling is her best attraction. Do anything with a happy heart, so we always take out our dish smiling. I think the reason that the guests like to come here is that every dish contains our emotions, dishes full of love. Sometimes when we listen to the music and make the dumplings and leek box, we'll ask the customers if they can feel the rhythm in the food or not. We have the tatami. When we put that, when someone comes, the Japanese style. Last time our former head of immigration came too. When I tell them there's no bad, just take it as a Japanese style tatami, said great. Actually, her husband's love to her is the support behind her. Hiding behind his wife, he brings light to her. This is how they get along. She said the best point of him is that he gives her freedom. Now that I'm old, I can't really be a big help to her, so I just give her space and freedom to let her express. She likes this kind of life too, huh? I hardly hear him praise me. Did you say hardly? Yeah, but all this time he really gave me a big space. Totaling their age would be 130, but they just started this business. Though they don't have the passion like youngsters, but they do bring touching feelings, and Wu takes everything serious. Sometimes being too serious becomes her burden sometimes. At first, I tried doing the gardening. It is really quite presentable. My friends encouraged me. They say it's like a private restaurant, hostel, and cafe and stuff. These make me think more about this. I've spent several years of effort, little by little, one by one, on this business. I tell my husband that I wouldn't think of him much because he's fine with food. But I will miss these grandpas and grandmas. Always using lively words, this is her character. This 50-year-old Shanghai sister is really energetic. Like this town, though the appearance is not that gorgeous, but people can feel the city's power. Like her, always keep a passionate heart. I did 4 years planning in the district office. I brought many art barrage to the community. The best of it is 89th Natives Arts Festival. I call it Love and Nest, Harmonia's hometown. Do things for the district office. There is also one of her amazing points. Because she is so energetic, everyone who works with her also becomes energetic. Like her dearest love 70-year-old husband, now he goes to the market for shopping every day for her to fulfill her dream. I think as long as I want to do anything, I must do it well. This spirit made this new immigrant adapt this land completely. Love in Yanchao is not just a commercial line, but it's also her best portrait of her practicing. Welcome back to Taiwan is my home. Bali is a place loved by Taiwanese tourists. Perhaps you have also seen the unique dance expressed with eyes and fingers. Not just being a tourist, someone now can tell you the meaning of those Bali dance. There is a Taiwanese wife who comes from Bali, homesick and missing her mom sometimes. She wants to thank the care that her husband's family gave her, so she opened a dance class in Taiwan and became the bridge of Taiwan and Vietnam. Like a color butterfly, like a queen, every single movement is filled with woman charm. Girls in Bali, Indonesia, they learn dancing from childhood. Tingli Li is no exception. Looking full of confidence, she had a social breakup when she first came to Taiwan. When I first came to Taiwan for 2 years, that I don't see any Indonesians in Taiwan. I thought I was the only Bali Indonesian married here, so I will feel scared because that's somewhat people use different attitude to see me. Perhaps they are curious too. Hey, where is she come from? Like that. But I feel differently. I thought I'd just better not go outdoors. 20 years ago, she met her Taiwanese husband in Bali, overcoming cultural difference and convinced their family who did not think it was a good marriage. When she first came to Taiwan, she did not adapt well, and she didn't come out her house for 13 years. In this period, she even thought coming to Taiwan was a wrong decision. I met Hyphen and Yufeng. They introduced me at the time, New Immigration Center. Then I start to come out slowly. That's when I discovered there are many Indonesians in Taiwan, which makes me happy. Of course, her family in Taiwan helped her to stand up against these difficulties. Came to Taiwan and lived with her mother-in-law. She tried to be a good wife, cooking every day, but she is used to cook Bali's dishes, spicy and sour, which does not fit with Taiwanese. How would the two elderlies eat? At first, with mother-in-law not used to spicy food, oh, they love spicy food. Really? They love it? That's great. Oh, we're all used to it. Used to spicy food? Yeah, we eat what she cooks. You'll love it when you're used to it, you know. Her mother smiled and said she's already used to it, but everyone knows that this is a love to daughter-in-law. After all, this young wife come to Taiwan, knows nothing about Taiwan and cannot communicate with others. If her family don't give her 100% of support, she wouldn't have been able to blend in Taiwan. They worked together to make lunch, thought these are easy dishes, but under their support, she was able to overcome. Because I don't speak Mandarin when I first came, I really cannot do anything about language. I can't say anything, yeah, and for gourmet and cultures, I'm not accustomed to all. In Bali, where we live, is like a villa. There would be a garden, we won't have floors, and there are less of houses like this. Then when I got to Taiwan, I'm living in an apartment at 5th floor. Then I stay in 4th floor every day, not coming down unless needed. I'm a bit not used to this, but now I am. No matter how many challenges there are, it could be dissolved by love. This is her family's best portrait. They eat her spicy Diwali dishes. She tried to blend into Taiwan's traditional culture, getting used to each other and gradually become an inseparable part of each other. She is Ting Lili's daughter, a mature age of 18 years old. Similar to her, they both have cute features, but something more similar is their dancing talent. I've taught her when she was young. The eye part and the finger part and the head, she will help me curve when I'm young. Yeah, I helped her. I remember when we are young, because Bali girls cannot have hands straight, it should be bent. My mother always helped me, so I too should do the same to her. Yeah, and so the eye part and the neck part, it should be taught in kindergarten. Her beautiful dance is also from her mother's guidance. Her mother is a Bali dancer. To her, this is an inheritance, a blood-connected family tie, as if this dance is a mark that records the family's unity. It's quite easy. It is really. Inherit from her, I think. Since grandmother passed to mom, of course she should pass it to me. I'm now out of Bali, so far away from my mom. I miss her now. Now that I'm in Taiwan, I miss Bali, I miss my family, I miss my mom, so I use the dance part that I would think of her. Her daughter is talented. She keeps saying her daughter dances well. Her eyes are full of pride. She danced better than me because of her eyes. Her eyes is bigger. It's very suitable. Big eyes are suitable for this kind of dance. Yes, because our dance in Bali, because your expression lies on your eyes, bigger eyes will dance more beautifully. Lies in the yearn in dancing, though beautiful dancing postures. She delivers the homesickness to her mother in Bali through the sky. Though she is homesick, but during the 18 years here, she will never forget to promote Bali culture by teaching Taiwanese students dancing. Beautiful-looking Taiwanese girls learns dancing with her 2 days per week. But no matter how much they try, they still cannot be like her. Often forget to twist the waist out and practice until back pained. I feel like if the bones are falling apart, the neck will have cracking noises when I dance. But teacher encouraged us, if we keep on dancing, we will have good body shape, so we must enjoy it. Living in Taiwan for nearly 20 years, Li Tingli deeply felt Taiwanese should know more about Bali, so she decided to bring the goodness of her hometown to the people here. It's hard on the teacher because she puts efforts on costumes. She went to Bali to purchase for us textures of high quality, and the whole dancing presentation, she has her standards required in some essence of dancing, or just say the meaning within it, the intention implied in Bali dance through performance, and explain it to the audience to let everyone knows the significance represented in our dance. Down, up, down, look at the hand, look, then close one eye, hand, hand, to the middle, look, back, then up and down. Through a passion to her homeland, Li does not count the cost. Not minding the income, she wants to fulfill this dream, because to her, Bali is full of her childhood memory, while Taiwan is full of her love memories. I started to promote Bali dance in Taiwan because my mother hoped Taiwan could have better understanding of our culture, or not, if it's not in Bali, when you are in foreign places, you use different ways to promote our culture. So I really wanted to let Taiwan to know and understand our culture in Bali, like that or this. So I use this feeling to promote it. I'm really happy, but for me, that I can perform in Taiwan like this, sharing my cultures to everyone. It's as if I'm not in Taiwan. It's as if I could find my life. Now, for me, Taiwan is my home. They come in the dance studio preparing the rehearsal of the upcoming Taichung Nanyang Cultural Festival. Li felt relaxed when hearing her mother language. Watching her sisters laughing happily, weird and immature dancing performance, at this time she felt like she is in Bali. And only when she speaks her familiar language, Indonesian, with her sisters, she can make some link to her homeland, hoping that while being a Taiwanese, she could also remember her family far away in Bali. They play Indonesian traditional music instruments, singing Taiwanese ballad. She walks her own way out with dance, love, and music, discovering confidence, making herself become a real Taiwanese. The two stories today shows us new residents from around the world makes Taiwan more lively. We will continue to show multicultural in each place. Thank you for watching. See you next time.